Subscribe my channel and press bell icon to get all notification.
हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, अब तक हम बात कर चुके हैं हमारे 5 किंगडम सिस्टम क्लासिफिकेशन में से 4 किंगडम की. लाइक वी हैव डिस्कस्ड अबाउट मोनेरा किंगडम, देन प्रोटिस्टा, आफ्टर दैट we discussed about fungi and then plantae. Today we will discuss about kingdom Animalia. This is the fifth and the last kingdom in the 5 kingdom system classification. So let's start our topic, Animalia kingdom, or we can call it animal kingdom also. So we can write animal kingdom. This animal kingdom is very diverse kingdom. बहुत diverse kingdom है, means loads of type of animals are found and they are included in this kingdom. We can say that over millions of 1.5 millions, almost 1.5 millions animals or species of animals are included in this kingdom. इतनी diverse variety है, इतने सारे animals इसके अंदर included हैं. And the characteristics on which we can say that the characteristics of this kingdoms are कौन किस किस characteristics के animals को यहाँ पे include किया गया है. एक बार हम पहले वो general introduction देख लेते हैं. After that we will discuss about the classification of the animal kingdom. The characteristics on which we can say that these organisms are need to be placed into the animal kingdom. Characteristics, first characteristic, that the organism which are included into this animal kingdom or Animalia kingdom, they are eukaryotic, means cell are eukaryotic cells which are included into this animal kingdom. So they all the organisms which are included in this animal kingdom, they have eukaryotic cell. We already know two types of cell, prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic. Eukaryotic cells are the cells which are well developed cells, means which have a true nucleus with nuclear membrane, nucleoplasm and nucleolus. This type of cells are known as eukaryotic cells. So all the organisms have a eukaryotic cells and they show multicellularity or multicellular structure present होती है. Means body is formed from many cells, so they are multicellular. Next characteristics of this kingdom is that these organisms, they lack cell wall. They do not have cell wall. They lack cell wall. Like in the previous kingdoms, like Protista, Monera, Plantae, Fungi, which we already discussed, in the Plantae kingdom and in the Fungi kingdom, we know that the cell is covered, or the outer layer of the cell is the cell wall. इन दोनों ही किंगडम में हमने पढ़ा था कि सेल के बाहर सेल वॉल होती है. लाइक सेम इन द मोनेरा किंगडम आल्सो, बैक्टीरिया आल्सो हैव सेल वॉल, बट द ऑर्गेनिज्म ऑफ दिस किंगडम, दिस एनिमल किंगडम, दे डू नॉट हैव सेल वॉल. इनके अंदर सेल वॉल प्रेजेंट नहीं होती. द आउटर मेम्ब्रेन दैट इज प्रेजेंट आउटसाइड द सेल इज द सेल मेम्ब्रेन. The outer membrane is cell membrane, or we can call it plasma membrane. So plasma membrane or cell membrane is the outermost covering. They do not have cell wall. After that, next characteristics of this kingdom is that they have the level of organization. Level of organizations are present. Level of organization means the body is organized into the proper way, like all living organism made up of cells. Then cells join together to make the tissues, to do the functions. Different type of cells join together to make a tissues. Different tissues join together to make an organ, and then organs join to make organ system. Such kind of systematic arrangement of different parts of the body, they are known as level of organization. So in this kingdom, the organism of this kingdom, they show level of organization. Some have the cellular level of organization, some have tissue level of organization, and some have organ, and another higher organism of this kingdom show organ system level of organization. So such kind of level of organizations are also found in the animal kingdom. Next, that characters, we can say that they show locomotion. They are motile and they show locomotion. हम यहाँ पे ये भी लिख सकते हैं, they show locomotion, means they can move from one place to another place. All animals, they are motile, they can move from one place to another place because they have locomotor organs for this movement. So this is another characteristics of this animal kingdom. Next, that they have heterotrophic mode of nutrition. They do not possess any kind of treatment for the photosynthesis, so they do not prepare their food on. They have to depend some another organism for their food requirement. खुद से अपना फूड तो बना नहीं सकते बिकॉज कोई भी फोटोसिंथेसिस के लिए यहाँ पे सिस्टम प्रेजेंट नहीं है, इसके लिए इन्हें किसी दूसरे ऑर्गेनिज्म पे डिपेंडेंट रहना पड़ता है. Such kind of nutrition we know is known as heterotrophic nutrition. So they have heterotrophic nutrition. इनके अंदर हेट्रोट्रॉफिक न्यूट्रिशन मिलता है जिसकी वजह मींस और स्पेशली इन द हेट्रोट्रॉफिक वी कैन से दैट दे शो होलोजोइक न्यूट्रिशन. Holozoic nutrition is the nutrition in which the complete the food is taken into the solid form. So they show heterotrophic nutrition और heterotrophic में हम यहाँ पे ये भी लिख सकते हैं that is holozoic. They show holozoic nutrition. Next, one more characteristic is we talk about related with their reproduction. They show reproduction and reproduction is mainly the sexual reproduction. So reproduction is sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction, that is the main type of reproduction. In some organisms asexual reproduction will also found, we will discuss, but mainly the reproduction that is found in this animal kingdom, that is the sexual reproduction. We can write sexual and asexual both here, sexual and asexual, but mainly they are developed to do the sexual reproduction. So these are the some general characteristics of the organism which are included into the Animalia kingdom. The first, that cell is the eukaryotic cell, multicellular. They show multicellularity, means many cells are present to make a body. Next, they do not have cell wall. Cell wall is not present. Outer covering of the cell is known as cell membrane or plasma membrane. Next, they show the level of organization. Level of organization कोई भी हो सकता है, cellular, tissue, organ level और organ system level. Next characteristics is that they show locomotion because they have locomotory organs, and so we can say that they are motile. Next, they are heterotrophic, means they do not have any photosynthetic pigment, they are not able to do photosynthesis, so the nutrition that is present in these organisms are heterotrophic nutrition. And next is reproduction. They do reproduction by sexual as well as asexual means. Both type of reproduction can be shown in these organisms, but mainly the reproduction which is done is by sexual means. So these are the some characteristics of the organisms or the animals which are included into the Animalia kingdom. Now we will talk about the classification of the animals. Let's see how these diverse kingdom is classified, on which basis the animal kingdom is classified. So let's start the classification of animal kingdom. Now let's see what or how the kingdom Animalia is classified. The kingdom Animalia is classified into the different phylums. We know the hierarchy of the classification, that one kingdom is classified into the phylum. Other subgroups are also formed based on the different characteristics. So here we will discuss about the phylum. The kingdom Animalia is divided into the different phylums, and these are the names of the phylum in which the animal kingdom is divided. The name of kingdom phylum are there. The first, that is the Porifera. The first phylum is the Porifera. Second, Coelenterata or Cnidaria. After that, the next phylum is the Platyhelminthes. Next is Platyhelminthes. After that, the next phylum is Nematoda, or we can call it Aschelminthes. Nematoda or Aschelminthes. After that, the next phylum is Annelida, then Arthropoda, then Mollusca, and this one is Echinodermata, and after that the Chordata. So these are the phylums of animal kingdom. All the organisms which are included into the animal kingdom. These animals are divided into different phylums based on some specific characteristics, and these are the name of the phylum. I know आपको first time में ये names जो हैं थोड़े अजीब लगेंगे, tough लगेंगे, but when you revise it again and again, you will be comfortable with this. तब पर कोई problem नहीं होगी. Let's recap one more time. What are the name of the phylum? Porifera, Coelenterata or Cnidaria, Platyhelminthes, Nematoda or Aschelminthes, then Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, and then Chordata. So these are the phylums of animal kingdom in which the animal kingdom is classified. Now let's see what are the characteristics on which basis these phylums are created. क्योंकि phylum बने हैं तो phylum किसी न किसी characteristic के basis पे तो बने हैं ना. Like in the plant system, plant kingdom, we also discussed some characteristics on which the plants are classified into different divisions, हमें दे चुके हैं। से एनिमल्स भी जो फाइलम में डिवाइड किए गए हैं वो भी किसी न किसी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स के बेसिस पे ही किए गए हैं। सो लेट्स सी what are the characteristics on which basis these phylums are created. So let's start. The first characteristics of the classification is the level of organization. Level of organization. What does it means? We will discuss about all these. First is level of organization. Second characteristics is the body symmetry. Body symmetry. And the next one is that is germ layer. Germ layers. Next, xylem. Xylem. After that, next we include the presence or absence of notochord. Presence or absence of notochord. So these are the characteristics on which basis the kingdom Animalia is classified into their phylum. ये कुछ characteristics हैं जिसके basis पे animal kingdom के सारे animals को इन phylums में classify किया गया है. The first characteristic is the level of organization. अब देखते हैं इसका क्या मतलब है. Level of organization that we already studied that all the living organisms have a specific cells. And then cells arrange according to their functioning, they arrange together or they group together to make the tissues. So such kind of arrangement is known as level of organization. So here we will see that is the organism or the animal is showing cellular level of organization, or it has tissue level of organization, or it has organ or organ system level of organization. So on these basis the organisms are classified. Here the organism that lower level of organizations like Porifera, these organisms they show the cellular level of organization. For as we further we increase with another phylums, we will see that they are organized in different way. Some are with organ and another higher organisms of these phylums are organized with the organ system level of organization. So in the level of organization we will see that how the organisms are arranged. Are they organized into the cellular level? Are they organized into the tissue level or the organ level or organ system level? So this is called level of organization. Next, that is the body symmetry. Now, what does it mean? Body symmetry का क्या मतलब है? इसे हम थोड़ा और डिटेल में देखेंगे that कैसे हम body symmetry को explain कर सकते हैं. Body symmetry is means we can say that body symmetry is the dividing of the body into the two equal halves. That is known as body symmetry. On this basis, the organism can be of three types, or we can say that three types of body symmetries are found. First is the asymmetry. Second, radial symmetry, and third one is the bilateral symmetry. So we will discuss about this one in detail. Let's start with the body. Now let's see body symmetry. Body on the basis of the body symmetry means the capability of dividing the body into two equal halves. The organisms are divided into the three categories or three types: asymmetrical, radial symmetrical, or bilateral symmetrical. Asymmetrical. These are the organisms which are not able to be divided into the two equal halves by any plane. मान लीजिए एक ऐसा ऑर्गेनिज्म है, आपको उसको चाहे किसी भी चाहे वर्टिकल प्लेन में, हॉरिजॉन्टल प्लेन में, इन एनी प्लेन, if you try to cut it, it is not divided into the two equal halves. Such kind of symmetry is known as asymmetrical. So here we can say that animals or organism is not divided into two halves. Such kind of organisms are known as asymmetrical organisms. And in the radial symmetry, we can say that radial symmetry is the symmetry in which the organism can be divided into the two equal halves by any plane which is passing through their center. Like in the case of some organism, if we cut by this way, or by such kind of way, अगर हम किसी भी तरीके से ऑर्गेनिज्म को कट करने की कोशिश करते हैं, suppose this is any organism, maybe such kind of organism, if we make a cut like this way, अगर हम इस तरीके से कट करेंगे, it can be divided into two halves. If we cut in this way, then also it can be divided into the two halves, one this one and another this one. If we cut this organism in this way, then also it can be divided into two halves, and if we cut in this way, then also it can be divided into two halves. तो अगर हम उसके सेंटर से, this is the we are making a cut passing through the center. If we try to cut an organism by any plane that cross through the center, and the organism can be divided into the two halves, such kind of organisms are known as radially symmetrical, and this symmetry is known as radial symmetry. So this is about the radial symmetry, in which organism can be divided into two equal halves by any cut that pass through their center. किसी भी कॉर्नर एंगल से अगर हम कट कर रहे हैं तो वो इक्वली टू हाफ्स में कट हो जाएगा. Such organisms are known as radially symmetrical. Third type of symmetry is the bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry is the symmetry in which the organism is divided into two halves only by the single axis. अब सिर्फ एक ही कट है जिसके थ्रू ऑर्गेनिज्म टू इक्वल हाफ्स में डिवाइड होगा, उस सिमेट्री को हम बोलेंगे bilateral symmetry. And the best example of bilateral symmetry is us, that is human being. If we cut our body by passing through the equal half, like यहाँ से सेंटर से अगर हम एक कट इमेजिन करें, then body can be divided into the two halves. One ear, both sides, one eye, one hand. इस तरीके से की पूरी बॉडी अगर एक सेंटर से हम कट करते हैं तो two equal halves में divide हो जाती है. Such type of symmetry is known as bilateral symmetry. So in the radial symmetry, organism can be divided into the two equal halves by any plane that passes through the center. But into the bilateral symmetry, the organism can be divided into two halves by single plane passing through the by the center. सिर्फ एक ही plane होगा, single plane होगा by which the organism can be divided. So this is about the symmetry. We have discussed the two criteria. The first one, that is the level of organization. Second one is that symmetry. And now third characteristics on which the organisms are divided into the phylums is the germ layer. So now let's start with the germ layer. What are the germs layer?